right, Eni, why don't you bring us into this one?
All right, so we got episode 2 of Daddy Issues, starring Modern, aka Dan Modern.
What up? What up?
We got a guest star Roman,
Rome,
as he goes
up,
by.
what's up?
And we got the I, the one place to be. So this episode is about just fatherhood and being a black man and being a dad and obviously primarily a white culture environment, especially at least where we live anyway.
Yeah.
So he was gonna, talk about his kids and how he handles that. So how many kids you got?
I have 4 kids.
4 kids.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, what are the ages?
17, 11, 6, and 5.
Let's
a big
see.
gap.
Yeah.
It's a big
Yeah,
gap.
I mean, it
17's
is.
almost out.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I got an 11-year-old.
And
I'm
5
like
is,
trying to figure out how to handle it.
Yeah,
I mean-
and they never all want to do the same thing at the
Right.
same time. It's like, yeah, it's tough sometimes, but
Whew.
Yeah.
As, do you like have them all the time? Like, how do you balance?
so
I mean, you got work and
Yeah.
other responsibilities.
yeah, so hence the title, Daddy Issues. The issue, the
Yeah,
issue.
time is 4 right now.
Yes, and the issue is just I'm not the type to fight where it's like not necessary. Like as long as my kids are having as long as they have structure and things like that, I take my kids when I can. I take my kids when I can. They're so I left. To jump into all this, but my kids, we were all together in the house, and so I they're in that house with my ex. So
So now, do you get all 4 of them at the same time when you have them?
yeah, most of the time. Yeah, my oldest son is kind of off doing his
Right. I mean,
His
17,
Yeah.
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 So do you have? So are you married now, or do you have how many?
Well,
are they all the same?
Let's bring it back to the beginning, and why don't you tell us your story on
might as well.
Just
the
how
life
how
of
all
Rome,
this
how it
happened.
all came
How'd all
about.
4 kids came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. When I was like 18, 19 years old, I had my first son, and me and his mom I feel like we had a decent relationship back then, and we were together for probably 2 years maybe or something like that. But I was young. I didn't really know what a relationship was, to be honest. I was just kind of
Yep.
I was
starting
young.
out.
It just
Exactly.
happened.
Starting out.
And so yeah, my son was born, and then after we broke up, I don't know, years later, I met my wife, and we had two kids together, and in that in our relationship, I stepped out of our relationship, had an affair, and I had my other son, my 4th, and that's how that happened. And yeah, we stayed together after. We tried to make it work, but things just kind of. There was a lot of things happened. A lot of it was. I did the. I had weak moments, and I made some bad choices, and I guess it kind of. I think that was like the nail in the coffin for our relationship, even though we stayed together after. But that's how it all happened. That's how all my kids are here.
Yeah.
My kids are good kids. I try to raise them to be better than me. Obviously, that's what we all try to do. But,
Amen.
yeah.
And now, I guess, what do you find it different having 4 boys than girls? Because I have 2 girls. You have a mix.
I have
A
2
little bit of
girls
both.
and 1 boy, and
Yeah.
he's in the
Okay.
middle.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I don't know. I watch like friends with their daughters and my brother with his daughters, and I don't know. Like having a daughter in this world, I don't know. I would be a little. I think I would be a little different. Like my sons, I feel like all they need to do is learn how to protect themselves. And and obviously I want to have a good relationship with them, but I feel like a daughter would. I think that might drive me crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one protecting them, it feels like.
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
when they get older, I'm like,
Yeah.
who am I gonna beat up? You know what I mean?
Right.
My kids come home from school now and they're like, "Oh, I have a crush," and I'm like, "Yo, tell me who he is, cause I'm coming." she's in 4th grade.
Right.
I'll walk out in cuffs.
Serious, yeah. Having boys is definitely, in that aspect, is definitely not a lot of stress on that end. But
That's really funny.
yeah,
That's good. Well, yeah. So, it's daddy issues. So, what's one of the issues maybe you're going through now? I mean, obviously, it has to be tough having 3
4.
baby mamas.
Yeah. And
Yeah. How do you balance all that? And you have a girlfriend?
Yes.
So you have 3 baby mamas, a girlfriend,
You have 4 women in your life.
4 women, and 4 boys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. Yeah.
You going to flip the table right now, or
you're
or do you need a hug? I mean, either one. I got you if you're going to do that.
I know,
you know
right?
what I mean?
You need a hug.
You know what I mean? You might need a hug. You know,
I know.
I need a hug, so I
For real. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. I mean, so 2 of my I don't know. I even hate using this word, baby mamas, because it comes with that notion of like.
Yeah, the stereotype.
Yeah.
You know, it's another is drama.
But what do you
it's
call
pain.
them?
Right.
No, I mean we
My kid's
The
mother.
mother of my children.
mother of my
All right.
kids.
Okay,
you
that's
know?
better. The mother of my children. I have two of my kids' moms. They're like, we get along well. So my oldest son, me and his mom, we get along well. We had a rough
And you
patch.
guys, you did have a rough.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut in, but
Yeah.
you guys have a huge gap. So
Right.
now it's like there's no need to kind of
Right.
argue. And
It's we so
Yep.
far past everything,
Yep.
or, and it never was really anything with me and her, to be honest. But yeah, our relationship is great, and my other son, the woman that I had an affair with, our relationship is fairly great as far as our communication about my son. So that's good. And my girlfriend, like, she understands, like, I was completely honest. Like, I don't. Honesty is king, in any situation. As long as you're honest, like, you give people a choice to make their decision. Yeah. And so she, she's like, I'm willing to accept you, and
I mean, that
vice
takes a
versa
lot.
there. It does.
I mean, 4
and-
kids,
and-
3
well,
different.
And does she have any kids?
Yeah, she does. She has 2.
So
Yep.
you guys have 6
so
kids.
you have a double blended family.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It is.
So wait, so before you met the new girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
like, obviously you technically you'd be on the dating scene before that.
Mm-hmm.
So how did, like, were you not shameful, but like, were you like, oh, am I gonna find someone that's gonna, 4 kids and then let alone
Yeah.
times 3 different women?
Yeah.
Like, were you worried about me finding someone that would accept all that and
Yeah.
go through the trenches?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, she was a blessing. Like, she came out of nowhere, because I didn't care. I didn't care to meet anyone.
Right. At
To
that
be
point, I'd
honest,
be like,
yeah.
I'm over it. I'm just
Yeah,
doing my
You
thing.
just like
That's it.
be a dad and
Exactly.
work and
Exactly. I'm like, I'm just going to focus on, career and focus on me for some time, and yeah, she came out of nowhere, and, our chemistry and just how accepting she was of me and
And
my
you guys
kids
are all
and
done
my
having
flaws.
kids?
And, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
done. I went and got a vasectomy, like,
yeah,
I don't know,
Yeah.
probably like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I got one a couple years
No,
ago.
not 10 years ago.
I got
but
one 3 years ago,
Yeah.
4 years ago.
yeah, same for
Something
me.
like that,
3
yeah.
4 years ago, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. After 3 kids, you're like, all right,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
yeah,
Nah, I'm good.
right, yeah.
I mean, wow. So, have you, being in a predominantly, white area, if you will, do you feel like ashamed or a certain type of way when you have all 4 of your kids as being a black dad? You know what I mean? But some of the fact that I even have to even ask that is technically even a problem for society, because it's
Yep.
like, why? That's normal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, do you
Right.
feel like people perceive your prejudgment as when you have 4 kids and you're a black guy and the
Yep.
stereotypes and all that comes with it?
Yeah, definitely. You know how you can feel You can
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah.
A lot of people may not understand that. I feel like you only understand it if you're a minority in
Yep.
some way. You know, you like sometimes you could feel judgment, like you walk in a room. You know, but as far as like if it affects me, it does sometimes. I'm gonna be honest. Like sometimes I avoid even certain like places sometimes because I just don't like that feeling of being judged. So, yeah, I do feel that. But again, like I'm moving into a place of like whatever. People are gonna think what they think regardless. So I'm finding even peace in that to just say whatever. And these are my kids. Yes, you know, if you think that I'm this dirtbag to have 20 kids running
20
around
kids running
everywhere,
around, you know what I mean?
right?
Yeah.
Then that's your problem. That's not my problem because it ain't true. I only have 4.
I think I ain't got 20.
So tight.
Yeah, you know, like, yeah. I mean, you know, there's gonna be people like that. I try not to stay in that space, but
Yeah.
sometimes it does bother me.
Now, do you get along good with all 3 baby mamas?
I do for the most part.
Yeah.
My ex-wife, because it's like, I guess sort of new, you know, like it's only been like 2, maybe 3 years since we like, you know,
Officially.
yeah. So, you know, like honestly, like the past couple of days, our communication has been so like crazy. I think to myself like, the hell is going on with her?
Yeah.
Like this is weird. Like is she building a case on me?
I know,
what-
right? To being nice.
Yeah,
you guys are
like
good.
Yeah,
Is
what's
she-
the catch?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, in building a case, I'm not really worried, but I'm thinking like, what the hell is like?
Why is she being nice to me?
Exactly.
all of a sudden? Yeah.
Have we really reached this?
See, I go through the
Pace of
same thing.
peace,
I
you
go
know
through
what I
the same
mean?
thing,
Right.
but she really is trying to build a case on me. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, it's
And it's been like that. It's been
Yeah.
like that with me and her. Like, there's been times where I would be honest with her about something like, hey, I'm doing some work, some freelance work. Of course, it's not on the books, but I'm going to pay you this amount, X amount. And she'll just like record everything,
Yup.
you know,
Yep.
stuff
that's
like
what,
that.
And that's what you got to be careful. Like, even if you think you're good with them,
Right.
you got to be careful of what you say and what you
Right.
do and texts and all that.
And it sucks.
Exactly. It's stupid.
It sucks because I want to connect. I want to be. I mean, at one point we loved each other. Can we get back at least in that space of like saying you're another human being and okay, I'm not gonna ruin your life.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna make it harder for you. You know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that to hers, but that's just me. And but I also know that obviously everything that happened in our relationship, there's some pain maybe still dwelling around, but you know, I'm hoping we could stay in this space that we're in now and just kind of figure it out, you know, love our kids and just kind of figure, you know, just get through it best way we can, you know.
And now, the 5-year-old is
Yeah.
that's the affair.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do the 3 baby mamas, do they have like, are they married and have their own families too? Like, cause obviously when you try to have, you're the centerpiece. So obviously I'd imagine you try to have, you trying to line up all 4 kids with like maybe a holiday or
Yeah.
a birthday. I mean, does that get complex, or are they all, you shoot a text out and be like, and they all like, all right, no problem.
Yeah. 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 So my kids have so many brothers and sisters.
Oh boy.
Yeah. As far as like,
Oh boy. Oh boy. Can we get another bottle? Can we get another bottle?
and not obviously they only have 3, you know, from me, you know, but yeah, so yeah.
You want to get some shots? Going around the table.
Yeah.
So yeah, on their mother's side, they have other siblings and stuff. But as far as like getting my kids together on holidays and stuff, I kind of, to be honest, like I talk to my kids and I ask them what they want to do, and I'm okay
Yeah.
with whatever they want to do,
That's good.
you know. And I was just like, all right, if you don't want to come to my house on Christmas, I'll just pick you up tomorrow. You know, one day, like a certain day, just because it's the holiday, I'm not gonna hold. You know,
Right.
I'll pick you up tomorrow. You know,
And see, that's
I don't
doing it
wanna
for the
put any
kids. You're not
pressure
doing
on
it
my
for
kids.
you're not doing it for you. You're not doing it for the mom. You're doing it for the kid.
For the kids, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to put any pressure on them.
Yeah, that's good.
Because sometimes I feel like, well, I'm talking about one, but sometimes I feel like there's some pressure on my kids to make choices of mom or dad. So I'm like, you know what do you want to do? And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is the best way. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how I do. I mean, I make sure that, I have my kids all the time, which
Yeah.
I'm blessed enough I don't have any like custody agreement or anything like that, but I
Yeah.
make sure like they see their moms and then the moms see me. So
See,
it's,
and the
it's-
thing,
right,
let
which
me
is-
turn that. The thing with let me turn that light back on. Hold on. Actually, I'll just say this because I'm gonna forget. But the thing with me is mine's different because
It's all we all have three different.
Right.
We're all in the same issues. We
With-
all have
with-
three different.
yeah,
problems.
with my mother's children, whatever children's mother.
Mhm.
I love how you put that.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say baby mama, but I was trying to.
yeah. We gotta change.
But
the
she'll
narrative.
do she'll if I say to her like, if the kids want to stay with her or whatever. I mean, she was very manipulative in the beginning anyway, so the kids always wanted to stay with her.
Yep.
But if I was like, oh, you can stay, some days I say they can, but like she'll bring it into court and be like, well, I took him. He didn't want him
Right.
this day. He didn't.
Right.
I've been taking care of him.
Right.
And she'd use that against me when I'm
Exactly.
being nice.
Yep.
And she'd use it against me. So
That
now I'm just
happens.
like, I don't even
Yep.
go down that road. I'm just like,
That's
these are my
crazy.
days. These are yours days. That's it. So.
That's kind of we were in a place with that like that as well. Like same thing. Whatever the kids want to do, and then like it turned into I have them all the time, and
Exactly, yep.
and I'm like, all right, schedule. Let's just stick to the schedule. And then it's like you don't even see your kids during the week, and then I'm like, but we have a schedule.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yep. I'm gonna turn this light back on.
So
That's so crazy because I'm like, I have my kids, 50-50, but like I could have them 1 week a bunch and it's never a problem. And then I can go, hey, do you want to have them extra day or,
right, and
it's never a problem. Or you have them last year on holidays or I got them this year or vice versa.
That's good.
So it's just crazy how like we all have the same issues, but it's
that's good.
so
though.
far. No, I'm not complaining by any means.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm very,
Bellini has it
I'm
good.
very fortunate to be in the situation I'm in.
And let me tell you, your first baby mama, great now. She's awesome now. She's wonderful now. But damn.
No, I mean it wasn't overnight by any means. I mean it wasn't like we skipping through the locks.
So there was a storm.
It was I barely made it ashore. You know what I mean?
I've never seen more crazy shit
It's
in my life.
Wait,
hold up, what?
wait. So we're flipping this podcast.
yeah. Hold on. Time out.
I just had to put that out there. My bad.
No, well,
that's
no, we all have gone through our storms
Yeah.
for sure
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get to where we're at right now.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, man.
Did you ever think that from when you first had your kid and what fatherhood would have meant to you and what fatherhood means to you now is the same?
No. Before like I said, I was young. I didn't
What,
I didn't
19?
understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
When my oldest son. So I was young, and even still, like I feel like I can be better.
Yeah.
It is a constant like,
But
desire.
I mean,
to
you
be
definitely
better,
grow
better
as a
dad.
man from being 18, 19, having a kid
Yeah.
to however old you are now, and me 32. It's like
Yeah.
you look back and you're like, damn, like I was, doing stupid shit. You're a kid,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
doing stupid shit, and like now it's like you want to raise your kids. You're way more mature. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
I was so like to my oldest son, I wasn't even present, to be honest.
yeah.
I was so like smoking weed and drinking all the time and girls, and I wasn't really present. I mean, I was there for him,
But not the way you are now.
Not the way, yeah.
And now is he close with you, or like is he cool with that, or does he remember that you weren't always there?
I don't know. He's so much like me. It's like kind of scary. His birthday is the day before mine,
Oh wow.
and everything about him is like I just see myself. He doesn't really. I don't think he remembers really how I wasn't like neglecting him or nothing.
Right,
but
right, yeah.
I don't think he really. And our relationship now is like fairly good. I mean, some things happened with obviously me and my ex, and I had him full time when I was married.
Yeah.
So when things fell apart, you know, there, like, it affected him.
Yeah.
And he kind of distanced himself a little bit and met a girl, and I'm like, is he me all over?
Right.
You know. But I talk to him. I try to, you know, I reach out to him all the time. He comes over for dinner. Like, you know, we definitely working on maintaining a good relationship with him. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And now does I know Pliny asked earlier, but do any of your past baby mamas have relationships now, like and married or have kids with other? I mean, you said they have a lot of brothers and sisters, but
Yeah, they do. Well, my ex doesn't, I don't think.
yeah.
But I'm wondering because she's so nice
Right now she's right.
That's
So-
Why
probably
should
what
be
the
distracted?
attention and all the energy is towards,
Yeah.
which
Probably.
might benefit
which is good.
y'all. She mean she might have grown as a person in her new
Okay.
relationship,
Yeah,
and then she might be like, "Roman ain't that bad. I mean,
Right.
he's trying, he's here, he's
Right.
communicating.
right.
I mean,
So
I
yeah,
imagine that."
yeah. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm just.
Well, that's-
as long as it's not drugs or like
Right,
she's
yeah,
not
yeah.
ruining herself. you
See,
know?
and like my baby mama, you know, got a boyfriend and then like tried to make it a point to me like I would care.
Yeah,
And I was like, thank God, like finally maybe you'll get off my back. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and then, you know, she's telling me who it is and stuff. And I'm like, he's a good dude. He has 2 or 3 kids full time. Like he's a single dad. Shit, we'll get him on this podcast.
yeah,
And he takes care of his kids. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would I not want someone like that being around my children?
right.
And it was just like, you know, but again, the petty games, and we're not at the stage where you guys are with,
Yeah,
you know, some of your relationships. And it's been years, so you guys have,
yeah,
you know, some of the pettiness is over, but not my shit's still going.
yeah. We. They do have other relationships, and like my oldest son has 2 other brothers from his mom.
Different dads, both? Or
Same dad.
for 2,
Yeah. And my other son has 4 brothers on his mom's side, like from his mom.
Oh, wow.
So you talk about like,
So she has 5 kids.
yeah, and
That's a
he
lot.
has like how many brothers? You know what I mean? Like it's like 9.
Yeah,
8?
9, 10 brothers.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think of the future. I'm like, we are the future.
we are the future.
We're the future for this area. Like,
The roses.
yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. people
That's a lot.
people may I don't know, judge me on that, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is, you know. Like, you think back in the day, how many kids people had? Like,
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
My grandmother had 12 kids.
That's crazy.
12.
11
Jesus.
girls, 1 boy. And
No
then
way.
my mom had 5. I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters.
Mm.
So it's like norm. And
Right.
now when you have
Nah.
1 kid, you're another
Right.
black guy with another kid.
Well, I mean,
Right.
back in the day,
It's
it was
like-
normal because, you know, they'd go off to war if you had guys and, you know,
Yeah.
2 of them die, you still have, you know, 2
Yeah.
more to
To hold down.
hold down your last name, you know?
fort. Yeah. Yep. I think that's what definitely. Yeah, that's how it was then. Now, for some reason, you know, we get judged by it.
100%.
And,
Yeah.
You know, at least I feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be
You're
like
not
picking
alone.
up wrong signals or.
Well, no, I mean,
You're
I've
not alone.
the same thing when I go into grocery stores or anywhere. I'll have my 2 girls, but then I'll have some of their friends
friends,
with
yeah.
me. They're all obviously the same age, and you know,
Yeah.
I'm a single dad. Well, you know, my girlfriend, but
Well, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
walking, you know, with all these kids, and
You don't
people
have a wife with a
people
ring
look
on
at
your
me
finger,
like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
does this dude have 4? And I can 100% feel it, and it's like,
Yeah.
does this dude have 4 kids? And they're like, sometimes people will be like, oh, are all those yours? And I'm like, no.
or
only
the
2 of
famous
them and
line,
friends.
or
Yeah.
you're watching them, like, as
Bro,
opposed
I've gotten
to,
that a couple
like,
times.
what are you,
Oh, you're babysitting
the
today?
babies? Nah, my kids.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a pet.
I've gotten
you
that
know
a
what I
couple
mean?
times.
Like,
Right.
like, makes no
But
sense.
yeah, it's really
Yeah.
not the norm of, you know, to see dads taking care of their children at all.
Yeah.
So
Especially, yeah, single dads,
Mhm.
especially. shout out to my brother for holding it down for all his kids. He's a single dad.
He has them full time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
He's
How
a
many kids
single
does he
dad.
have? This goes
you
back
have to get
this goes
him
back
on
to the
you
future.
have to get him on the podcast.
might
I
have
don't want to
to.
drop. And it's nothing like, well, it's just a little bit more than I have. But
Yeah.
yeah. Shout out to him and all
Yeah,
the
he's
other
taking care
dads
of
who
him.
are like single full-time dads,
Yeah.
and that's him. And that and I salute him. I try to support, just like this podcast supports single dads or just dads in general. So whenever I
Absolutely.
see that, I'm like, salute. I'm here for you if you need me,
Yeah.
Because, we need that community. We definitely do. To, because there's so many, I would say black friends, right, that I have, right?
Yep.
Who have kids, but they can't see them because of the mother.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they looked at as like they're neglecting their kids when really it's the mother.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's so many of these cases that it looks like a black person is the culprit, or like a black male is
That typical black
Yeah.
dad leaving
Yeah.
his kids and stuff. But yeah, it's the baby mama being petty.
Yeah, and regardless if it's immaturity or however people break up or whatever, that doesn't matter.
I feel like a lot of it is immaturity now because a lot of people are having kids very young,
Yeah,
and you're not mature at 20. You're not mature
Absolutely
at 25.
not.
No.
No.
So it's like,
true.
Especially if you're in a relationship like at 18, you're in a relationship for a couple of years, and then it's like,
Yeah.
it wasn't meant to be, especially to have kids. So it's rare to see someone, a high school sweetheart,
Right.
and they keep going,
Yeah.
for a while. So you don't see that too much.
No, nope.
Yeah, that's wild.
But it's becoming the norm too to be getting divorced and having
it
kids
is.
getting divorced. That's the norm now.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's that whole thing of I don't mean to go here, but I feel like this could be another podcast.
yeah.
But I feel like expectation is certain because it comes with judgment. I feel like when women look at people and stereotypes, like okay, you see a black man walking down the street with his hat backwards, he's a cheater. He's whatever comes with it,
without even talking to him.
without
Just
even
looking-
talking to you.
Yeah.
And even just meeting a guy, right? Like a lot of women are like, all right, what can you do for me? Kind of a thing. I get it, but it's like you have to understand people are people. We all have made mistakes. You could either judge them on that or look at your own.
Yeah.
You're going to walk around judging other people on their mistakes, or just look at your own, Like,
Yeah.
it just bothers me when I feel that judgment from people, because look, I'm just like you, trying to support for my family, trying to make it and trying to be the best dad I could be.
Yep.
But just because I'm black and my hat's backwards, you're going to not connect with me as a human being or whatever, whatever.
No, I mean that's a problem that we face every day. I mean, the simple fact that it's not normal for you to have your kids as you're walking outside, as opposed to that's his kids and he's a dad.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's the fact that we're even talking about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it also doesn't help because you start out in a relationship and you're young, but you're not a man. You're a good guy, but you're not a great man.
Exactly.
And then when you turn into a husband,
Yeah.
you become the ultimate thing, because usually that leads to having a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So usually when you start out at 21 or 19,
Yeah.
you haven't developed that.
Right.
You might be a good guy running around, but
Yeah.
like I had 2 watches when I was,
Yeah.
I had 2 watches. I had Tim B's. I had
we saw
yeah.
someone with 2
I
watches
had,
the other
you know
day.
what I mean? I had a fresh cut every day to the point
Yeah.
where my barber was like, "There's nothing to cut." You know what I mean? I spend $30 a
Like,
day.
wow, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what am I doing?
The barber's pushing
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, but now I'd rather have $30 in my bank account
Right.
Yeah.
as opposed to a fresh cut to make sure that I have $30 for my kids if they need it. But I wasn't like that when I was 18 or even 25.
Oh man, that's
You know
a
what I
good
mean?
point. Yeah.
So it's like
that's
time we
definitely-
become
Yep.
like men. It's really like either a life circumstance, like usually having a kid,
Yeah.
or in their early 30s.
Yeah. Yeah. Something about the 30s and men, like we.
We just click. We just
Yeah.
drop off.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I gotta retire when I'm
Yeah.
50. I gotta make as
Right.
much money as I can.
Yeah.
It's funny too, seeing some of the young kids that I grew up with, like skateboarding.
Yeah.
I'll see them now. They're same as we. Doing drugs.
Yeah.
Messing around, and I'm just like, and I try to sit there and talk to them, same as people try to talk to me.
Back
They're
then,
like,
when-
oh,
yeah.
do this, and you'll
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you're a kid, and you got to figure it out yourself. But
Yeah.
I try to talk to those kids, and I'm like, dude, go down this path. Like, try to go down the right path. Do this.
Yeah.
Save money. Don't be buying drugs. Don't be doing that stupid shit because you're gonna regret it when you're older.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, what the fuck was I doing? I could have been successful
Yeah.
at the time I am now. So, but going back to the whole like walking to the thing, the grocery store with 4 kids. On the flip side, I think it's the same with moms too. It's like you're that ratchet mom with
Oh, they have
four
judgment
kids,
as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think it's
like,
kinda-
the dad's in jail or the dad's
right?
not
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
You're that ghetto
Good
mom.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So
On both sides of the coin,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like, just us dads, I feel like we, like, as far as the court system, if you want to go there,
oh my god.
I mean, the court system is like, they don't really acknowledge the dads, really. They
I will say my judge did. My judge gave me a lot. He gave me a lot, but I feel like he didn't read all my paperwork.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you only get an hour.
Yeah.
And then you have to split that hour, half an hour,
Yeah.
from the woman to the man. So,
Yeah.
I'm still very frustrated with my stuff because it's just like I had paperwork on paperwork on paperwork of like what she's doing.
Yeah.
And, even like texts to me and my kids, like,
Yeah.
fuck you. Like, and I was like, please don't drive. One time we not buckled them in. I brought my kids. She picked them up at my house and, they got in the car and I think my girlfriend was there. So she sped off and I texted her. I'm like, don't be an idiot and drive off dangerously. At least buckle my kids in. And, she just went on this rant and since me and her kind of like did our thing, she was just crazy. I was answering texts normally, like,
Yep.
hello, whatever. Can I see my kids? Can I do this? And it was just nuts the whole time. So it was like, and I saved all that,
Yep.
But
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I brought it
Yeah.
to court, and I'm just still, and then you got to wait,
Right.
Wait.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Like, ordered to pay a ridiculous amount of child support, and I'm like, like, this is kind of crazy. Like, I'm go to court, and I'm like, can we work something out?
Yeah.
Can you work with me on this? And
Well, you have a pretty crazy story with your other baby mama who couldn't pay.
oh,
So
yeah,
then
yeah.
they dropped it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So my oldest son, I had full custody of. So the reason, so I've been through so many, like, I've been to court so many times. It's over kids and so way back, my son was younger. I think he was about 3 or 4 years old. His mom got into drugs, and I seen what was going on. I'm like, I need to take my son. So me and my wife, we fought for custody for my son. Notice I said fought. His mother was into drugs, and we had to fight for custody.
Right. Yeah.
It was kind of crazy because she kidnapped him, and I had to fly to Florida to get him, and it was still
Jesus.
the court case was still open to be
decided.
decided.
Yeah. And I will say on the flip side, if that was a man,
Oh man,
it would have been a
Jail.
wrap. It would have been a
there
wrap.
was
Yep.
no kidnapping charges or nothing, which
Yeah.
I didn't bring up or not. Obviously, I didn't want her to be arrested, but that would have been brought up if that was
100%. Yeah.
me. Sorry to tell that story. If she ever watches it, she'd probably get mad at I'm telling.
We
the
didn't
story.
know he was going to tell it. We didn't know.
But no, like, again, she, we all, have made some choices, and
Yeah.
it's the same for her. I don't judge her on that stuff, and I don't, but at the time, that's what it was, and that's what happened. So it was like we went through so much to get custody of my son, and yeah, it was just, I don't know. It kind of it worked out eventually. But yeah, so she was ordered to pay me child support. When everything settled for her in her life, she was ordered to pay me child support, and she couldn't. So we went to court, and the judge was like, "Look, we either drop it, or I can't remember the other option he gave me. It wasn't. They were pretty much the same. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. How you just want me to drop? She owed like 13 grand or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not asking for the whole 13. I'm not even asking for I'm just something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because I still had him. And he's like, look, we're just gonna drop it all. And they just dropped the whole 13. No, nothing.
And again, a guy would have went to jail.
Yeah.
They would have been like, you're locked up if you can't pay.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, when I think about it now, as far as the court system, that was kind of crazy. I think that's wrong, to be honest. But as far as her, I'm glad.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
And now she has custody, part custody of her kid now.
Yeah. So as of right now, yeah, we both kind of.
Was that done through the court, or did you just say?
Yeah, I just said. Yeah. Because I'm like, look, this is our son.
And she got her shit together too.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
She's
That's
been
good.
fighting for him, and I've been pushing back. You know, I've been like, no, because I want to make sure she's
Right, doing the right thing.
She's doing well.
She's
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah. And she was. So So now, we have a good relationship, and we both, in communication with our son, and we try to be there for him, So it's good. Definitely worked out. I don't really care about that whole thing. I just thought it was crazy that the court system was just like, we're gonna drop it all. Versus if it was me.
100. Yeah.
Yeah. If it was me, I feel like it would have been.
We would have been doing this podcast behind some glass or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Which I 100% agree with you, but I think there's two variables that we might have to take into consideration. One, since most of us have had kids at an early age, you 19, I think I was 20, you were.
Whoops.
How old were you again?
23.
23. You know that saying, money attracts the women you want, but struggle attracts the women you need. So if we're as black men, right?
He's always so deep. He's
I'm
always so
deep.
deep.
I'm really good.
He's always bringing it to church or something.
Thank you, Mama.
Man.
Do you think that? So if we were, little thug money's looking good, smelling good, going to club and balling out, do you think that maybe attracted women that probably didn't need, in combination of you not being mature enough to handle that complex situation, put us in a situation that ultimately just ends in disaster? And do you think because of that, when we get to the court system, and they're looking at it as we're a number, right? So that means there's 5,000 little thug monies. So they're like, okay, next.
Yep.
So you think we have fueled that persona of like, okay, now another black guy with another blended family with multiple kids is here.
Yeah.
I would say yes, but then again, you show.
This is
up
an
to-
open question.
You
I'm not
show,
saying
you
you're
show
wrong
up
or
to court.
anything.
You show up to court in a suit, a tie, like you present yourself as a educated man, as a
educated man,
successful
you know what the hell
man.
you're doing.
Right. You don't show up in a t-shirt and
Right.
baggy jeans,
And
you know,
Timberland
Exactly.
boots.
right?
Exactly.
I've seen people in court show
Yeah.
up like
Yeah.
that. It's like,
Yeah, yo.
what do you
Yeah.
think
What are you
you
saying?
got?
Nah, I
What do you
mean, no,
think
I
you're
don't
gonna
know
do?
what you say.
I've seen it too. I've seen it too. And
So you gotta present yourself,
definitely. And I totally agree with that. And I try to do that as well because, again, like, what a difference this could make. It is honestly,
100%.
When I go into the grocery store and I have these clothes on,
Yep.
everyone's like, "Oh, how you doing, sir?"
Absolutely.
Oh,
The way
yeah, how
people
you
talk
doing?
to you and treat you.
Right.
And
It's the same as interviews nowadays. Like people
Yeah.
don't even show up to interviews like dressed up. One time I went to an interview and I was the only one dressed up. I didn't have a suit on, but I had like a tie, a shirt, and all that.
Yeah.
Because my parents, brought me up that way.
Right.
But I went and everyone else was in like t-shirts and shit. I was like, really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that definitely. I was gonna say every time I go to court,
Nah, he only went once. He's been once.
but no, like every time I've gone, past tense.
It's an anomaly, not a every day.
Right. I definitely try to present myself in that way. And again, I try to be as real as possible because I feel like that's just, look, I stand up in front of the judge. I never hire a lawyer. I'm like, I never hire. Here I go. I'm still setting the stage for that stereotype. I'm like painting that picture for them still, but nah. So I go to court and I'm just like, I've gone to court and I was just like, look, this is the situation. And I try to dress, in the same type
You
of
got some
respect
sense
that I
about
want.
you,
Like,
yeah.
and I have some, right, because I do. And so many people do, but that's what I'm saying. People can't judge just because of what someone's wearing.
Definitely,
I
definitely.
get it because, like you said, in the system, it's like they see it. They just see it from that. Like a judge sees it from his.
Yeah, because this is his
Right.
9 to 5.
But I'll tell you
and
what,
he
I mean,
comes up and this is another
I don't think that will ever change. We'll always judge people off the way they dress and the way. Think about if you're walking down the street and you have some dude dressed baggy, gangster, all that.
Yeah.
And then you have someone dressed like Palini walking down the street. You
Yeah.
know, who are you gonna be scared of? You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
always gonna happen.
Yeah, but I mean, that is true.
I think it happens to a certain degree, but I
Yeah.
think a simple conversation like this, which might seem so small and maybe peanut as opposed to 260 million people in the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, but if
He's
People's-
always dropping stats.
I
He's always dropping percentages. I
Seriously.
can't wait to hear what next week's percent is.
I don't know what I'm going to say now.
That was good information.
But people will see this podcast. So we have the ability to change the narrative, and I think
Yeah.
if we can change the narrative enough where it's at least it's normal for you to walk down the street with your kids.
Yeah, without.
That might change everything. Now that means a question to you is: did you have a father growing up, or was he in your life, or how did that play into fatherhood for you now?
That's a excellent question because I feel like that's what my dad was there. First of all, my dad was there, but I lived with my mom. They weren't together. I didn't see. So growing up, I've never seen a relationship really. My mom was single. Me growing up, she was single. I mean, there were guys around, but they weren't my dad. I didn't see a relationship. I never seen my dad and my mom and hug or kiss. So, my dad was around. That's how we ended up in this area. My dad moved out here, and me and my brothers.
But that
Yeah,
has
it
to
will.
play a role in the
It
way
def-
you
it
you know,
definitely-
not
definitely-
seeing a relationship, not
Definitely.
understanding that.
Definitely does. And it's not, it's one of those things. We could talk about it now, and some people may say it's an excuse or whatever. But no, when you're young and you're growing up, you're just kind of living your life. You're doing and saying things that you know and understand
Right.
and that you come from.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. Like I didn't know what love was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a good relationship looked like. My affair, I'm making choices only a man should make, and I didn't know that.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was making by me saying I do, at the end of the aisle, saying my vows, I was making choices only a man should make.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
And
I
you don't
thought
know
I was
the
in my
weight
mind,
of what you're saying either.
right. I didn't know that. I didn't know. In my mind, I thought I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So growing up definitely influences, plays a big role in how you are as a young adult until you understand yourself and understand what life really is. But yeah. So yeah, my dad was there. He wasn't like there in the sense of emotional. Like me and him never really connected on an emotional level. But he was always there. We had fun with my dad. You know, like I love my dad. Even, you know, I have no hard feelings at all towards my dad. None. But yeah, we never really connected on that level that I'm currently trying to connect with my son.
Yeah.
On that level that I was missing. Not
But
currently, but I've always been.
Right, but that's a learning experience for you too, because you didn't
Exactly.
learn that when you were a kid. So
Right.
Yeah.
So the beginning for me as a young man, you know, all the choices I made and kids I had, and even in their young lives, I was growing as a man
Yeah.
when I should have already kind of had a mature understanding of what a man was, but I didn't. I was growing as my kids are growing.
Yeah. You're a growing man trying to teach your boys to be men.
And I feel like I would always be growing. And I feel like that's, you know, because none of us will ever feel like we made it, I don't think. That's what makes, that's just about being a parent. You just feel like maybe I could do this better for them.
oh, you could always,
Yeah,
yeah,
oh,
you're always
absolutely.
trying to do something better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, my dad I love my dad. Shout out to my dad. Yeah. He's a good man.
Well, shit. Well, let's wrap it up right there. That was a good.
We
good
can
little
get going.
right
We
there.
just getting started. We probably should cut it because we're running out of wine right
Oh
here.
yeah, I have so many stories though, like outside of this, but yeah. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to all the single dads. Shout out to all the fathers in general. Shout out to you guys for this podcast. Cheers.
What's up?
What up?
Thank y'all for having me, man.
It was a pleasure.
This is definitely necessary. I feel a lot better now. you
ain't
guys come
alone,
up here and let
you
me
know?
vent.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing. That's why I like it, because it lets
Yeah.
me vent and get out all my
Yeah.
anger, and like I just gotta tell some people like what's going on in my life.
Exactly.
So I love it. Yeah.
I think it's dope.
And Polinia's life is just rainbows and unicorns.
No,
good
it's
life.
No,
the good life. Polinia's living the good life.
Status
No.
and data. So he has all the data for us.
Yeah.
If you want to know how many single
If
fathers,
you want to know what to do,
the data or
yeah,
data.
Eni, drop a percentage on us or something. Just drop a stat on us.
When we want to know statistics, we know you know who to call. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Well, word. Well, thanks for tuning in to Daddy Issues.
No doubt.
And
Thank you.
yeah, hopefully we'll definitely have to have Rowan back on again and get some more stories. I want to hear some juice. I want to hear some dirt. So
Yeah, I'm willing to share whatever, man. Like, the best policy is just being honest, transparent.
yeah,
You connect better. You connect better with people. You know, it's genuine. Don't hold anything back. Live your lives, you know, like kids out there that may be listening to this, like just honesty is the best thing. Communicate with the people you love. Always express your love for the people you love, you know.
yeah.
And
Once you tell a lie,
yeah.
you're gonna go down that road and keep going down that road.
Yeah.
And it's only that lie's gonna turn into just snowball effect.
Definitely.
So telling the truth is you're already in the clear. Either the person accepts it or they don't, like you said earlier. So
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, word. All right. Well, we out.
Season 2 is a wrap.
Holla at
One
your
more
boy.
thing. I
Oh,
have
we
to
got
say
one more.
this.
We got one more.
I have to say this.
Here we go.
I have to say this to like the young men out there, young boys who are in relationships. Again, you hear this podcast, please make good choices. Protect yourself.
I mean, actually
Protect
listen.
yourself.
Listen to the
Yeah.
mistakes that the older people are making, and learn from it before you
Exactly.
make those mistakes, because it's not a fun road to go down for sure.
Not at all. Protect yourself. Yeah, and know that every choice you make, your life could change.
Yeah, and you're
Your life could
responsible for
change, and you're
the choices you
responsible.
make.
Exactly.
Yeah, they should definitely
That's
remember that the hardest choices require the strongest will.
Mm.
And even if the
Can you drop a stat with that?
even is when you make that right choice doesn't always equate to the right result. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean you get off that path of doing right. You know what I
True.
mean? Because if your baby
Yeah.
mama or mother of your child is yelling at you, you should always try to do things in love, because at one point in time
Yeah.
you felt a certain way,
Right.
and then two, love plus love equals love. Love plus hate,
Yeah.
love plus hate plus hate doesn't get you anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if the worst thing that she can say about you is, oh, he was able to lend me money or pick up a kid or never yell at me or being nice, I'd rather have that battle than who knows what else is out
Right.
there, which is obviously there's always someone has a worse problem than we have. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I'd probably take that with them.
For sure.
And no more stats.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys take our advice or listen to our problems. And, yeah, we'll definitely have Rome back on.
Definitely.
Signing out.
We out. I.
Listen, you can't hold me down. You can't hold me down. You can't hold me down. You can't hold me down.